In this first of a series of 5 Mainstage videos, I'm just going to look at how to set up a default concert or patch within a concert from scratch. So what I've done to get to this point is just simply to open up Mainstage, and from the final page of template options, I've just chosen a blank performance. And that gives me this one channel strip over on the right hand side, which has loaded the EVP88. You can see that loaded here. But at the moment I've got no means to actually play this instrument, so what I'm going to do within this video is to look at how to set up playing of an instrument. So I've switched to the layout page within Mainstage, and what I'm going to do is to simply drag in this keyboard, and this literally gives me note input. So once I've set this up, I've got a chance to select how long I want the keyboard to be. At the moment it's 61 notes, but if I've got a bigger keyboard than that, then of course I can enter 76 notes, for example. And now I've got my main performance instrument. And if I want to, I can teach the keyboard where C1 is by using this learn switch over on the right hand side. However, I'm good with where C1 is at the moment, so I'm going to hit the edit button and just try out my keyboard. So you can see here that even by just clicking the notes on the keyboard here in the edit page, I can audition that and make sure that it's working. However, I want more control over my electric piano, not just keyboard input, but also some parameter changes via some dials and things like that as well. So what I'm going to do is to grab this round dial icon and simply just drag it in here above the keyboard. Now within the layout page, what I've got a chance to do is to grab parameters like this and teach them what I want them to do, or what controllers I want to assign to them. So you can see that this is currently highlighted, it's got this blue box around it, and what I'm now going to do is to teach it which MIDI controller I want this to respond to. So by hitting this learn button and dialing in some values, which you can see happening now, I've told this controller that I want it to work with MIDI controller number 16, which you can see listed here. Now what does that actually mean? What is controller 16 going to control? Well, if I switch back to the edit page, I get a chance to decide. So again, what I need to do is to highlight this little button here, and then down at the bottom in this parameter mapping section, I can choose what control this is going to be. So I'm going to come into the actual instrument itself, the EVP88, and from here I can choose the parameter that I want MIDI controller 16 to work with, and I'm going to go for this chorus rate setting here. So if I click on that, you can see that the dial gets its little bit of text showing me that this is chorus rate, and now I've got a controller for it. MIDI controller 16 is going to control the rate of chorus within the EVP88. So let's just test that that's working. Well, at the moment, there's no change at all. Now, that must be because the actual chorus isn't initialized on the EVP88. Obviously, to hear changes in the rate of chorus, I need also to make sure that chorus is switched on. And sure enough, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that there's no chorus. I'm going to dial some in and then just try that again. And that's now working a treat. So I've now got a chorus rate dial, so if I want to be able to vary that, I can. And of course, I don't have to stop there. If I come back to the layout page again, once again what I can do is to grab another controller, and this time I'm going to grab a pedal control and set that up too. So here is a mod pitch pedal, but of course once again it can control anything. All I have to do is to teach it which controller it is. So once again I'm getting my learn button, and this time I'm just using my mod wheel, so you can see that control number 1 modulation is set up here. Back into my edit page, I'm going to click on this new foot switch, and then I can decide what I want it to control by coming down to my parameter mapping box again. And this time I'm going to pick volume. So now the mod wheel is going to control volume for me. Now you can see over here on the left hand side I've got a chance to change the attributes of any given parameter. So at the moment my volume is from +6 at the top all the way down to -infinity at the bottom. Let's see if that works. So now when I dial in my mod wheel, I get volume control, but this is actually too wide a setting. At the moment, if the mod wheel is all the way down, the sound is silent. So I'm going to restrict this dynamic range from something closer to -1 dB up to 6, so that now at its minimum setting I still get to hear the sound. Let's try that instead. So that's great. I've now got control over two separate parameters. So I've introduced the keyboard for note input, a round dial to control chorus rate, and a foot switch as well.